questions.
If I can just give a brief introduction, please, Chair. Yeah. In 2014, an organisation called Client Earth took the government to court 3 times, and the court found the government in breach of their own air quality standards. The government then ordered 63 local authorities in England to clean up the air in the shortest time possible, and that included the 10 in Greater Manchester. And the caveat to that was Highways England, who operate the motorways and the trunk roads, were asked to work in a different way, which means they might introduce variable speed limits. So what we did from a Greater Manchester, I mean, and the threat was, there was 2 threats. One, that the government would fine us for not complying, and the other was that Client Earth would actually take local authorities to court for not bringing in the clean air measures. So we are under a ministerial direction to deliver a clean air plan in the shortest time possible. Now, obviously, from I'll just say, if I steer off, Simon, will you shout up, please? So what we've done in Greater Manchester is said, yeah, fine, but we are going to need financial help, and that is in what we asked for, 4 measures. 1, the Clean Freight Fund, the Clean Taxi Fund is the second one. The Clean Bus Fund is the third one, and we also asked for a hardship fund for genuinely, or like businesses, whatever might be in hardship. On the hardship fund, the government have said they are not convinced by this, but what they will talk to us. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of back and forth between Simon's team and Councillor Andrew Weston, who is still leading on this at the time. Back and forth, talking to the Joint Air Quality Unit, JACU, talking to DEFRA, asking for more money. I believe that there was obviously some tight negotiations, but the last time we met, I believe that the deal that Simon and TFGM colleagues and Councillor Weston brought back was the best deal we're going to get. We did get more money. We also got a period of grace for the taxi trade and the light goods trade. So when it comes in, when the Class C congestion charge comes in, which means that most cars will be exempt because they've got a Euro Cat 6 engine, then most motorists in Greater Manchester will not be paying a congestion charge. They were not paying a fine. Now, I have to differentiate between a congestion charge and a clean air plan. A congestion charge is there to make money. The goal of the clean air plan is, as the fleet greens itself up, the air quality improves because the fleet in Greater Manchester is a lot cleaner because obviously a lot of the main 2 pollutants are nitrogen dioxide, 80% of which is at the curbside, and also what we call particulates, PM10s and PM3.5s. The particulates, especially from the diesel bits, are the ones that go inside your lung. Maybe certain scientists say they go a lot further into your brain, and they are ones doing the damage, especially in the young. So we are under this ministerial direction to deliver this. So how are we going to do that? The Clean Bus Fund is approximately £16,500 per bus, and I think, again, Simon will pull me up, at the beginning of this, I think 90% of the buses in Greater Manchester weren't compatible because they've not renewed the fleet. So they're getting on with that. And when I say retrofitting, I at first thought it was like an engine. It's not. It's like a catalytic converter that you can slip in. So I think there's 263 buses in GM are now retrofitted. The problem, what we will have, is a lot of these buses are years old. And so in the end, you're talking about the engine and the car, but the bus will itself wear out. And that's why what we will be, we've been awarded, I think, 3.2 million for the purchase of new buses. Now, obviously, my request has been that them buses are hydrogen, hybrid, electric. My son now lives in London. He tells me every time Sadiq Khan orders new buses, and I think the last lot was 30 new hydrogen buses to complement the fleet of, I think, 500 electric buses. So what you have got, and we drifted into this chair with the, with the places for everyone. is what London has got is this integrated, regulated public transport system. So when my son now gets on the bus in the morning, he pays £1.70 for an hour. So he can travel for an hour, he can get off the number 24, jump on the number 56, etc. because London's transport is subsidised. And Councillor O'Brien mentioned £7 to Manchester, or town as I call it. It's £7 to Bury. Mrs Quinn can pay £7 to Bury when she works for the CAB, which is on record. Or she can jump in a car and go and pay £4. So, and you've got all over, especially in the lower end of the borough, the south of the borough, you do have a lot of motorists who choose to park up in Bess's and in Prestwich and jump on the tram because it's dear. So what we've got, that's the Clean Bus Fund, we have got the Clean Freight Fund. The problem with the light goods vehicle market, and I mentioned this before to Mr Raji when he was here, is that a lot of small businesses bought these vans as an investment. For 10 years, they're going to do 100,000 miles. We are a poorer region, we're not the South East, and so a lot of businesses are cash grabs, and they've made these purchases with good intent. So what they're now faced with is with a congestion charge is a vehicle that's they're going to have to be paying money for each day. So Simon and Councillor Weston have done a cracking deal where we believe that when these vehicles are refitted with our call at the car, the grants available will pay for most of that. So, and we've got the extra year for them to prepare for this, or to look at taking advantage of a grant to buy a new vehicle. And the second one, the third one is the taxi trade. Very important, because I've mentioned before, my daughter goes to work by taxi on like a government programme. And a lot of the taxi, I call them the taxi lads, forgive me, the taxi girls, must be taxi girls as well, but I've bought these cars as an investment, and I'm sure it was like something like 24 million taxi journeys in GM. And I say it again, if you're going out to town, you can pay £4 on a taxi each, or 4 of you can get in a taxi for a £5. And so, that's a conundrum. So we believe we've got the best deal possible for the taxi trade, for the light goods trade, for the heavy goods trade, most of which are clean engines anyway. Most of them have got Euro 6 cat diesels. We believe we've got the best deal possible. It will come in May next year. Simon?
So the intention is that the clean air zone will be introduced in 2 phases. Emissions charges in the first instance will apply to buses, heavy goods vehicles, and any taxi or private hire service that is not registered with a Greater Manchester licensing authority from May 2022. The emissions charge will then be extended to non-compliant light goods vehicles and taxis and private hire vehicles that are registered by a Greater Manchester licensing authority in May 2023.
So what also happens, Chair, is there will be, and I've just, myself and Mrs Ball have just signed off on this, will be a purchase of the infrastructure, so that when you enter Greater Manchester, you will have ANPR. And we've also liaised with the authorities outside Greater Manchester to say once you come in, you will be charged for this, because it is, and every other, there's 63, there's Leeds, Bath, Birmingham, etc., Bristol's another one, Newcastle. So you will be charged as you enter this unless you've got a compliant vehicle. So and this is where I always get stuck and ask for Simon's help. I think we have asked for the moving traffic regulations to be brought in, which means that the bane of my life, Chair, is coming off junction 17 on the slip road, and someone is blocking the box junction. Now, under I'll call it the London Powers, they are picked out and fined. So you soon learn not to block the box junction, and so the traffic flows smoother. The aim of the scheme is to kill itself, because when we hit air quality standards of 40 micrograms per metre squared of air, when we hit that, then once we achieve the reduction or the improvement in air quality, then I think we go on for another 2 years, and then the infrastructure is taken down because we've achieved what we've meant to achieve, and therefore it isn't a congestion charge. I think that's, you know, I think they wanted to implement this by, was it 2018, Simon, originally?
Yeah, so our expectation at the moment is that Greater Manchester will be compliant by the end of the year 2014, and then under the direction we need to be able to demonstrate 2 years of compliance in order to be able to then decommission the charging system.
Okay, thank you for that introduction.